Before Columbus.
Before the conquistadors, before European explorers set foot on American soil, there were civilizations. Not primitive tribes, not scattered bands, but cities, empires, sacred traditions. From the icy edges of Alaska to the golden temples of the Andes, this is the untold story of the Americas before 1492. Not wilderness, but worldviews. Not emptiness, but excellence. To the north, democratic confederacies hidden in ancient forests, cliff palaces carved into canyon walls, and pyramids rising from riverside metropolises. To the south, mountain empires crowned with gold, gods of sun and moon, and roads etched into the clouds. These worlds would never meet, but both reached astonishing heights, and both faced the storm of conquest. This is not a story of war between them, it's a story of two continents, two kinds of greatness, before the world changed forever. North America, a vast tapestry of plains, deserts, woodlands, and Arctic frontiers. Here, indigenous nations adapted to every environment, creating hundreds of distinct cultures and thriving communities. South America, a continent of extremes. Towering Andean peaks, steaming Amazon jungles, the driest deserts on Earth, and from these lands came empires, powerful enough to reshape nature and rule millions. Before the first European sails touched the horizon, these lands were already home to civilizations of breathtaking depth and complexity. In the south rose the greatest empire in the Western Hemisphere, the Inca Empire, known to its people as Tawantinsuyu, the land of four quarters. By the 1470s, under rulers like Pachacuti and Topa Inca Yupanqui, their territory stretched over 2,500 miles, from modern-day Colombia to Chile, uniting more than 10 million people. Their capital, Cusco, nestled in the Andes, was called the navel of the world. Their ruler, the Sapa Inca, was not just king, he was a living god, son of Inti, the sun deity. They built vast cities and temples, Machu Picchu among them, with no wheels, no steel, and no written alphabet. Yet they organized a continent-spanning road system of 25,000 miles, relayed messages via chasquis runners, and recorded data on quipus, knotted cords that tracked everything from census counts to harvests. Before them came the Nazca, who carved mysterious lines into the desert floor around 500 BCE. The Moche, 100-700 CE, who mastered irrigation and gold work. The Tiwanaku and Wari, who laid the administrative foundations the Inca would later refine. South America was imperial, engineered, and visionary, long before Francisco Pizarro ever arrived. In the north, civilization wasn't about empire, it was about networks, alliances, and sacred order. In the heart of the Mississippi Valley stood Cahokia, a massive urban center built between 1050 and 1350 CE. With over 15,000 residents, its Monk's Mound was taller than the pyramids of Giza, and its society was structured around trade, astronomy, and ceremony. In the northeast, the Iroquois Confederacy, the Haudenosaunee, formed a democratic union of 5 nations around the 12th century, governed by the Great Law of Peace. Centuries later, its ideas would influence the United States Constitution. In the southwest, the ancestral Puebloans, also known as the Anasazi, built multi-story stone cities like Mesa Verde and Chaco Canyon, aligned precisely to solar and lunar cycles. To the Pacific Northwest, nations like the Tlingit, Haida, and Kwakwaka'wakwi lived by the sea, organizing life through kinship clans and telling history through carved totem poles. And across the Great Plains, nations like the Blackfoot, Pawnee, and Comanche thrived as seasonal nomads, astronomers, hunters, and horse warriors. North America wasn't a void, it was a mosaic of culture, language, science, and spiritual meaning. For both continents, the world was alive. The Inca worshipped Inti, the sun, and revered mountains as sacred ancestors. Temples like Coricancha in Cusco were aligned with the stars and solstices, their architecture embedded with cosmic meaning. In North America, spirituality varied, but was universally rooted in balance. The Lakota spoke of Wakantanka, the great mystery. The Hopi taught of cyclical worlds, destroyed and reborn in sacred time. The Cherokee, Cree, Navajo, and Pueblo honored nature, animals, sky, and spirit in all acts of life. Here, religion wasn't separate from society. It was the blueprint of existence, from planting to battle to birth. In the Andes, Inca warfare was statecraft, swift, organized, and often merciless. Their military campaigns reshaped populations, relocating entire tribes to maintain control. In North America, warfare served many purposes. Among the Iroquois, mourning wars were spiritual, aimed at capturing enemies to replace lost family members. On the plains, raiding was about honor, balance, and cosmological cycles, not just territory. Though divided by the Isthmus of Panama, the Americas were never isolated. They were dynamic, intelligent, and deeply interwoven. Then came 1492, sails on the horizon, guns, crosses, smallpox, fire. In just decades, empires crumbled, cities vanished, entire languages went silent. But not everything was lost. Today, millions still speak the tongues of their ancestors: Quechua, Aymara, Maya, Nahuatl, Cherokee, Diné. They still plant sacred corn, still dance for the solstice, still pass down stories around the fire, still beat the drum, still not the quipu. Embarrassment before 1492, these lands weren't waiting to be discovered. They were already ancient, advanced, and alive. Two continents, two stories, one truth. The Americas were never empty. They were full of nations. If this story moved you, subscribe to Native Historian for more hidden truths from the ancient world. And as always, stay curious.